George Clooney sent Meghan and Harry on his private jet to holiday despite Green pledge. George Clooney sent Meghan Markle and Prince Harry on his private jet for a holiday, despite the Hollywood icon previously demanding more be done to halt climate change. Film star George, and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's son Archie, were both celebrating earlier this month as they share the same birthday, with the former turning 60, and the latter too. Alongside his wife Amal, George is reportedly close to Harry and Meghan, attending their historic wedding 3 years ago, as well as inviting them to holiday with them at their Italian villa in Lake Como, in the aftermath of their nuptials. Pro-Sussex biography Finding Freedom detailed how George even sent his private jet to pick the couple up and fly them to Italy, despite his claims in the past that climate change was placing the planet's future in danger. George has become more outspoken on political issues throughout the years. Some of the roles he has taken on to appear more political, including the 2020 science fiction thriller The Midnight Sky. The Netflix film sees George play a scientist in 2049, who is working in the Arctic Circle after an unspecified disaster has wiped humans off the face of Earth, and left its surface contaminated. Many saw this blockbuster, which was nominated for an Oscar for Best Visual Effects, as a nod to George's desires for action to be taken on climate change. Prior to this, he hit out at former U.S. President Donald Trump, and skeptics of climate change across the globe, in a parody sketch on Jimmy Kimmel Live 2 years ago. Speaking at the launch of spoof charity United to Defeat Untruthful Misinformation and Support Science or UTMOS, George said, "Science has given us unprecedented knowledge of the natural world, from subatomic particles to the majesty of space. Science enables us to cure diseases, to communicate across great distances and even to fly. Tragically though, the volumes of invaluable knowledge gathered over centuries are now threatened by an epidemic of idiots." He added that just $20 will convince one idiot that climate change is real. But according to Finding Freedom, released a year after George's comments about Mr. Trump, co-authors Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand claimed the actor had arranged for the Sussexes to join them at their villa. Speaking about the holiday in 2018, Mr. Scobie told ABC News that it was a top-secret operation to get the Sussexes out into Italy. He said that ways this was done included Clooney actually flying them over to Como from London on his private jet and then an unmarked motorcade transported them from the airfield to the home with, of course, their protection officers in tow. After joining them on August 18, the authors said Meghan and Amal spent time lounging by the pool, while Harry and George bonded over their shared love of motorcycles. It said that in order to maximize security the group stayed in every night and were cooked up an array of treats by rotating chefs. The authors added, on the final night of Harry and Meghan's stay, George hired the chef from Il Gatto Nero, one of his favorite local restaurants, to prepare an Italian feast for 15. The party, including neighbors and their house guests, dined at long trestle tables in the landscaped gardens. As live music echoed over the estate, guests enjoyed the gathering until the early hours. Harry himself has previously been caught up in private jet rows, as he has used his own profile to also champion climate change action, like his father Prince Charles. Harry has been a vocal voice in the Green debate, even admitting he would only have 2 children for the sake of the environment during a 2019 interview with conservationist Dr. Jane Goodall. But after Harry was filmed earlier this year on a gas-guzzling bus being interviewed by TV host James Corden, observers noted the apparent double standards. As well as driving around LA on the bus, 4 motorbikes and a Range Rover followed him during his time with James. Columnist Clemmy Moody noted that Harry's smart idea to get on a gas-guzzling double-decker was reminiscent of previous scandals regarding his climate change activism. She was referring to the saga over Harry and Meghan taking a string of private jets across Europe after their first son Archie was born. Writing in The Sun in February, Ms. Moody said that private jet-loving Harry is no stranger to accusations of hypocrisy, and that pride of place on his woke CV is a commitment to climate change. She continued, naturally, then, Harry decided it would be a smart idea to appear on telly atop a gas-guzzling double-decker. To make things even more environmentally efficient, just 5 people were on board the top deck of said double-decker. She argued that this sort of thing doesn't happen on the C-39, not even in COVID times, adding, trailing them were 2 police motorbikes and a Range Rover. Leading the big red cavalry were 2 more motorbikes. Harry decided it would be a smart idea to appear on telly atop a gas-guzzling double-decker. To make things even more environmentally efficient, just 5 people were on board the top deck of said double-decker. She argued that this sort of thing doesn't happen on the C-39, not even in COVID times, adding, trailing them were 2 police motorbikes and a Range Rover. Leading the big red cavalry were 2 more motorbikes.